One of the best stories about firm inversion comes to us from finance. In 2014, there was a great debate on what was Uber really worth. Spearheading this debate was a finance professor at New York University, someone who was so well known that they had written textbooks on finance and won the Herb Simon Prize for research of lasting value. Aswath Damodaran had offered that the value of Uber was about $5.9 billion. To make this estimate, he used the traditional tools of finance, discounted cash flow analysis, estimated the global size of the taxi market, given Uber's specific market share, and estimated the cash flow over time. They didn't have patents or other barriers to entry, so the question is, what was their value? To his credit, he did something very noble. He put out his spreadsheet and said, if you disagree, run your own numbers and see what you think. One of the folks who took him up on that offer was Bill Gurley, lead investor in Uber. He said, that's all well and good. You're overlooking a number of factors, but one of the most important is network effects. To illustrate, he used a napkin sketch from David Sachs, the COO of PayPal. He said, as you get more riders, you get more drivers. As you get more drivers, you get more riders. As this density gets higher and higher and higher, you can start to offer new kinds of goods and services. In fact, you're not just going after the taxi market, but as your market expands, you can start to go after the rental car market. Now you're going after Hertz and Avis. As you expand further, now families don't need second cars. The soccer moms could actually use Uber as opposed to driving the kids themselves. In that case, now you're going after Ford, General Motors, and Toyota. After that, if density gets high enough, you can start to offer logistics services. And now you're starting to go after Federal Express and UPS. We have shifted the market from taxis to rental cars to auto manufacture to logistics. Notice how we have moved the demand curve in each of those cases. It's a wonderful example of network effects changing the boundaries of a marketplace. Oh, by the way, he had inside data. He noticed that the value of the taxi market in San Francisco, where Uber arose, had increased by a factor of 3. In fact, if you take Damodaran's number of 5.9 and multiply by 3, well, you're pretty much at 17. So he had the numbers roughly right. He had just forgotten the network effects. Or consider the valuation of Instagram. When Facebook bought it for $1 billion, it had only 13 employees. The market went nuts, wondering how it was possible to buy a firm with so few employees for so much money. Well, it shifts if you again think of platforms as the assets of information and community. We can almost do the numbers in your head. Here there are 30 million users, each creating value for $1 billion. That makes it about $33 per user. Today, the value of each of those users with Facebook is even more, so it turns out to have been a bargain. Again, it's valuing the assets in the community outside the organization and not just in the organization itself. We're about to also see a remarkable transformation with the introduction of Bitcoin technology. As this happened, the ledgers, the accounting books, are moving from inside the organization also to outside the organization. In that context, anyone with an app will be able to validate the transactions of an organization and know what business they have engaged in. Again, we're reducing the information asymmetry, where only those people inside the organization know what's happening, so that even the people outside the organization can know what's happening. This is going to lead to large transformations in auditing and accounting, and we've shifted finance, again, from inside to outside the organization.